National news reports cited seismic instability for a massive sinkhole collapsing beneath Blackwater Lake. In reality, this was a cover for a coordinated underground explosion. The strike team responsible bypassed military silos and weapons bunkers to strike a specific target, a subterranean facility known as the Archive. This facility housed miles of concrete shelves holding thousands of vintage cardboard evidence boxes, old reel-to-reel tapes, and manila folders. It served as a physical database documenting decades of missing U.S. Forest Service fire lookouts. The agencies behind this facility detonated it to ensure this history remained hidden. Their plan failed because one rookie fire lookout escaped the blast radius with the core records in his possession. To understand why a government entity would violently erase its own records, we have to look back at that rookie's journey. It began with a single physics-defying rulebook at a lonely mountain fire tower. When Jake Miller arrived at Tower 7, a senior ranger handed him a weathered leather notebook. Among the routine instructions was Rule 18, do not acknowledge Tower 12 after midnight. Jake soon witnessed the cost of breaking that rule. He observed a 120-foot wooden fire tower physically moving towards his position. Laser rangefinders confirmed the massive structure was advancing miles across the terrain while remaining completely silent. The events took a physiological toll. Jake experienced an unexplained loss of 10 minutes of time, eventually finding himself miles from his post, with fresh, barefoot tracks ending abruptly in the dirt. His superior, Ranger Davis, actively discouraged any reporting. Davis provided false geographic coordinates and intentional misinformation to ensure Jake remained disoriented in the wilderness. Later analysis of the archive records suggests these events functioned as specific, data-driven pressure points. The moving tower and the missing time provided the psychological leverage needed to force a lookout to abandon their post. Jake bypassed his instructions and found a concrete bunker beneath the forest floor. Inside, a hidden timeline plotted 70 years of missing fire lookouts. Every data point connects to a single epicenter, Tower 12. This timeline is currently active. The final blinking data point bears the current year and the name Jake Miller. The threat was confirmed through the bunker's surveillance monitors. Jake watched a live feed of an intruder inside his locked cabin, systematically burning his evidence in the stove while he was trapped underground. Jake reached a secondary research station nearby, where he found a classified surveillance file. It contained his childhood medical reports, his elementary school records, and his military service history, compiled long before he ever applied for a job in the forest. He found a VHS tape at the bottom of the file, proving he had visited Tower 12 when he was 7 years old. Every memory of that visit had been suppressed or erased from his adult mind. The existence of this file meant Jake's arrival at Tower 12 was a long-term objective. He had been monitored for decades and guided back to this specific mountain for a reason the Forest Service never disclosed. Jake reached the operational facility at Blackwater Lake, where he finally came face-to-face with Ethan Cole, the engineer who had pulled him away from Tower 12 28 years earlier. The records revealed that Jake's father, Daniel Harper, did not die in a car accident. He spent his final years building and protecting this archive, leaving a letter for his son that read, "I never left you. Someone had to protect the truth." Ranger Davis was not a mentor, but the primary architect of the erasure. He led the tactical team that arrived to breach the vault and destroy the physical records once and for all. Ethan Cole locked himself inside the main vault to hold off the tactical team. His final stand bought Jake the time needed to escape through a hidden maintenance tunnel with the primary archive logs. The conspiracy failed because they relied entirely on institutional pressure. They were unprepared for the generational loyalty between a father and son who prioritized the preservation of the truth. From a remote cabin, Jake is now digitizing every journal and photograph. He is ensuring the identities of the missing lookouts can never be purged from the record again. Jake now maintains these records in secret. He has taken over the role of the archive's guardian, hidden from the authorities who curated his life. His vigilance was recently tested by the arrival of an anonymous package. It contained a blank rulebook with a single directive on the first page. Rule 1, never build Tower 13. A final security breach confirmed he is still being watched. An anonymous email arrived with a live video feed showing a camera angle from the corner of his own cabin, pointing directly at his workstation. The destruction of Blackwater Lake proves that the official narrative is still under construction. As long as the archive exists, there will be a conflict between the records Jake holds and the story the Forest Service wants the public to believe.